This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 16, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, 16-year-old boys charged with illegal possession of firearm. 3 16-year-old boys are to face the court following the seizure of 2 firearms in Monza, Portmore, St. Catherine on May 11. The Portmore police say about 6:20 p.m., a team of officers conducted an operation in the area when the 3 boys were seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. They were accosted and searched, and the 2 imitation firearms were allegedly found in their possession. They were arrested and subsequently charged with possession of a prohibited weapon after being questioned in the presence of their attorneys. Their court dates are being finalized. Government secures US $400,000 to help with road safety efforts. The government has secured US $400,000 to assist road safety efforts. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister Floyd Green said the money will be provided through the United Nations Road Safety Fund. Minister Green said the money will be used to address important aspects of the road safety environment.
We will be strengthening road safety management capacities by developing a comprehensive electronic injury surveillance data system. We will be carrying out a study to observe the attitudes of Jamaicans on the road. We will be also, Madam Speaker, purchasing new breathalyzer equipment. We have $73,000 US for that. We will be purchasing new speed enforcement equipment, $50,000 US for that, and we will be training our officers for the sum of $80,000 US. This project, Madam Speaker, will run over 3 years.
Westmoreland firefighters wary of prank calls. Senior District Officer Norris Mitchell of the Westmoreland Division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade is pleading for the public to stop abusing the fire service by making hoax calls, as according to him, the practice is creating confusion and unnecessary use of the brigade's valuable resources. Addressing last Thursday's monthly meeting of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, Mitchell did not give specific figures as it relates to the number of prank calls. He said those calls made up a substantial number of the 738 fire calls between January 2023 and May 2023. According to Mitchell, firefighters must respond to every call because they have no way of determining which ones are bogus. He also noted that over the period in question, 6 people, 2 adults and 4 children, perished in fires in the parish. According to Mitchell, they have identified some communities where residents are seeking to make it a habit to make prank calls, and he is urging them to end the practice. We are having some serious problems with false calls, especially from the Hatfield area in a place called Gaza Bridge. We got numerous fake calls from Gaza Bridge, explained Mitchell. I can remember one night when I went on a call at Gaza Bridge, the police were there as well. When I went there, the citizens were saying that they are tired of it now. The senior firefighter says he is particularly concerned about the situation as the police, who are facing a challenging situation with crime and violence, are also being called, as unlike the firefighters, they are also first responders. Seabert McFarlane, the counsel for the Leamington Division in the WMC, said he was quite unhappy about the fake call situation and wants the authorities to toughen the penalty for anybody found guilty of making the prank calls to the fire service and the police. In general, I believe the penalty for making false calls should be so severe that it would make people think twice about making these calls, said McFarlane. You should not feel it is okay to call the fire brigade when you know nothing is happening. You cannot take it as a joke and then expect to get away with it. In addition to wasting time and resources, prank calls can also be very dangerous as they expose firefighters to unnecessary danger. There have been numerous cases of fire trucks being involved in fatal accidents while responding to fake calls. Westmoreland councillor planning to take NWC to court. Councillor Rudolph Uter, the minority leader of the Jamaica Labour Party caucus in the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, is contemplating court action against the National Water Commission over the dilapidated conditions in which parochial roads are left following the repair of broken pipelines. Frustrated and overwhelmed by the poor state of the roads in his Frome division, Uter says he has already consulted a lawyer seeking guidance as to how to proceed in taking legal action against the NWC on behalf of the people in his division. I am now having a dialogue with a lawyer because of their neglect in coming to fix the parochial roads, which they have caused to deteriorate. The citizens are calling on us, their councillors, they curse us and even demonstrate over the poor road conditions, said Uter. Uter is of the view that a memorandum of understanding signed between the National Water Commission and the National Works Agency for the repaving of roads dug up by the water company is not working. The outspoken councillor, who was speaking at last Thursday's monthly meeting of the WMC, urged the leadership of the corporation to join him in taking the steps required to get justice through the court for residents similarly affected by the road conditions affecting residents in his division. I know that there is an arrangement with NWC and NWA, but that is all I have been hearing. The NWC has a responsibility to rehabilitate the roads after they have completed repair works, but all they do is throw some marl on it and they left it, and that is the end of the story, lamented Uter. I am wondering if as a corporation we can look into it so that when they neglect their duty, we can take them to court so that we can get some justice. Because if we leave it like that, it is going to be business as usual. I think that's an option as a corporation we should move ahead with, added Uter. Savannah Lamar Mayor Bertil Moore, the chairman of the WMC, acknowledged the Uter's concerns and promised to consult the corporation's lawyer for advice on how to proceed should it become necessary. JFJ raises concern about new SOEs. Lobby group Jamaicans for Justice has reacted with concern at the latest declaration of states of public emergency. The lobby group is again calling for the regulations governing SOEs to be made public. We are seeing time and time again that the government has failed to adhere to the principle of rule of law, where the SOE is being announced without any regulations being tabled, she observed.
We remain especially concerned because we're seeing time and time again that the government has failed to adhere to the principle of rule of law, where the SOE is being announced without any regulations being tabled. I want to remind the Jamaican people that the regulations are important because what it does, it outlines what are the specific powers that have been given to the police. Those are rights that you have in your constitution that are being curtailed under the state of public emergency. And it doesn't bode well for a country that ought to be respecting the human rights of every single Jamaican citizen that these regulations are not being published or made publicly available. So we're asking the government yet again to be looking at crime-fighting measures that are sustainable, ensuring that the police have the necessary resources to get their jobs done. We think that ordinary law that exists under the Jamaica Constabulary Force Act, such as the powers to call curfew, cordon off areas, and so on, are sufficient to fight crime. What the government needs to do is to put enough boots on the ground so that people feel comfortable, feel assured that security is being provided within these communities. Those are some critical things that we're asking the government to consider going forward.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.